Would you say it's a bloody Sunday, chat? Would that be an accurate summation of what we're gonna start with here today? So modern. What's fun on Wednesday? We're gonna be starting with modern every day this week. We're gonna be live Tuesday through Thursday this week. We're gonna be kicking off with modern in the mornings. Tuesday through Wednesday. Sorry, I'm off Thursday, Friday. Man, it's early and the schedule's different this week. At any rate, we got a bunch of new tools for this archetype in Modern Horizons 2, and this archetype just picked up extra new cards over the course of the last little bit. So we've got Counterspell, actual factual Counterspell is legal in this format now. And then the other big pickup out of Modern Horizons 2 is this big mamma jamma. So 3/3 delves 5, so you can exile cards from your graveyard, and then it hits the battlefield with a counter for each instant and sorcery card that you delved with it. So this is frequently going to be like a Tombstalker plus. And one of the big things this archetype used to struggle with was closing power. In fact, back in the day, you splashed green to play Tarmogoyf in this archetype. And with Murktide Regent, that's no longer necessary. You got this big, beefy, evasive threat that comes down that's in color for you, which is fantastic. You got some Archmage's Charms and some Cryptic Commands for some flexible moto spells. Got a couple of Prismari Commands because artifact decks have been running around. We're going to Lightning Bolt and Snapcaster Mage people like it's 2015. And then we've got some Jace the Mind Sculptor. So that card's legal in this format again. Just good, powerful Planeswalker. Does a lot. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this and see how it goes. Take my tickets, Magic Online. Let's do it. I got a couple of bolt lands in here too. Some Shatterstorm smashings. Seemed pretty reasonable. I'm always a big fan of playing more lands rather than less. This is a land that you can Thought Scour over that you can delve to make this bigger too, which is sweet. Yeah, like all the people who were like, well, Jeff, it should have been easy to know that Brainstorm was too good for historic. It's Brainstorm. It's like, well, can we just like remember Jace the Mind Sculptor and all of the really awful interactions surrounding this card that happened? Like when people were talking about it being unbanned, like people thought this card was going to destroy the format because they didn't understand what was going on. It was just like, it was good in standard and it was like playable in legacy, and people were like, obviously it's too good for modern. And then like it happened and it's like just fine. Like control decks play 1 to 3 copies of it and that's it. It doesn't dominate anything. We're secretly Grixis controlled because there's surgicals on the board, something like that. I put surgical on the sideboard because it's been a long time since I've had Twitch chat suggest we bring it in every matchup. But Twitch chat has never met a matchup they didn't think surgical extraction was good in. Yeah, this is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Around the play. One decision, I started with the core of a deck from a 5/0 dump, and they were choosing not to play a basic mountain in their mana base, so I do have to fetch shock to get red even with Scalding Tarn. And I think that's probably right, because like basic mountain's pretty bad in my Archmage's Charm deck, and I have a couple of red only lands with Shatterskull Smashing, so I think these are better than the Bolt lands. Well, shit. But it's been a while since I've had this one happen to me. How many Hollow Boys are about to hit the battlefield? Do I scour in response? Yeah, probably not. Alright, we lost Jace, we lost Cryptic Command. Eldrazi Conscription, Flamewake Phoenix. Okay. No Hollowed Boys or Girls from the opponent, so that's nice at least. They're playing Burning Inquiry ready, the Surgicals. Quickly! One Murktide, please. Actual factual counterspell, chat. Are you ready, kids? Counter, not just counter any spell for 2 manas. I'm gonna counterspell this rather than letting them shift through their deck and churn some more. I'll grab Steam Vents here. I don't want them casting this and like finding 2 or 3 hollowed ones that I then can't deal with. Because we have Counterspell this turn, Archmage's Charm next turn, Snap Counterspell the turn after. There's like a pretty clean curve here. Winning the die roll was busted. Where's the overlay that lets you see the cards at a readable size? It's right there on the bottom right side of my screen. Lightning Bolt, there's a Snapcaster Mage, there's a Goblin Lore. Ooh, another counter spell. That's exciting. I'm gonna play the untapped land here because I don't play something worth countering. We'll probably draw 2 with the Archmage's Charm. Cathartic Reunion. Well, they bin 2 cards. So, I mean, we're definitely countering this one, right? So, it's a draw 3. You think my opponent's having fun yet, chat? I'd love to pay 3 life moto. Thank you for asking. The lightning bolts might not look very good at this current point in time. Oh, I have 2 different lightning bolts. That's funny. But these are actually, they combine together to form Time Walk because they end the game a turn quicker. One has 3 cards in hand. We're definitely waiting on a threat at this point. Do we Bolt Snap Bolt? I think I need the Snapcaster Mage to be a counterspell still. I have a Snapcaster. What could you want? That's true. That's true. I've killed a lot of people with Snapcaster Mages, okay? I am no stranger to the Snapcaster Mage. I have a morbid curiosity. What does Snapcaster Mage cost in terms of US dollars these days? Someone remind me of MTG Finance. What's this? What's the price tag on this card? $80. Good golly. Are we escaping an Ox? They have 10 cards in their bin, so they could escape Ox, leave a Flame Wake. 70 to 80. Word. I remember selling foil Snapcasters for like 120 bucks and being happy about it. TCG players 55, depending on who you buy them from. So they could technically cast this again later, but like It's going to be a number of resources for them to build back up to get there, so... Yeah, I think that's true for sure, that we are currently at a low point for pricing on a lot of these staples. And this time I chose to snap Counterspell as opposed to playing the one from my hand because I want to start applying pressure here. Bonus at 14, so we still have a pretty slow clock, all things considered. We'd really like to find like a Cryptic Command, another Snapcaster Mage, an Archmage's Charm to draw 2, something to generate some card advantage with. Murktide to end the game sooner would also be reasonable. Alright, we're technically losing this race, huh? Huh. The gambly part of me wants to let this happen, because, like, I feel like there's a lot of upgrades I could get for these 2 cards. You think they only have 1 card in hand, and, like, this doesn't net them extra cards, right? It's just going to change our cards into something else. Yellow it. Sick. That's exactly what we wanted, chat. That's an 8-8. Yeah, and I was expecting this thing to be Tombstalker most of the time. 8-8 is kind of busto. Check out some options here. Do not want that option. Keep that one. So I would like to delve Thought Scour, Bolt, Opt. Need one more. Probably Archmage's Charm, huh? Now, I think I want to keep Snare, because I have 3 mana available this turn. I want to be able to snap Snare if they play a 2-mana spell. Because we have them dead on board, right? Like, leaving Snap Snare seems ideal in Snap Bolt. Just in case. Hey, thanks for the 27 months, Lord of the Pearl Trident. We might get back to Merfolk here at some point in this format. Seems sweet. Alright, so they're dead. Their Flame Wake attacks into the Regent, and then Snapcaster Mage here is going to Snap Bolt the Flame Blade Adept, and will attack for lethal. Orange Jiminy. You know it's Sunday, right? I'm not supposed to have to look at Excel on the weekends. I apologize. Alright, so Abrade seems great here. It kills Hollowed One and their other cheap threats. Came for modern, stayed until modern. What's going on, Dougie? Probably want some surgicals here, right? Like, they have Flame Wake and they have Ox. I don't know if it's a 3 surgical matchup, but some numbers seem good. Blood Moon's obviously an easy cut. This probably isn't a Jace the Mind Sculptor matchup, huh? I wonder if it's an Aether Gust matchup. Archmage's Charm could potentially be a little bit on the slow side. That's a good question. Why was there an Eldrazi conscription in their deck is a reasonable question. They cast anything on 2 that game? Yeah, they had Goblin Lore and Cathartic Reunion. Although Cathartic Reunion's probably boarding out. So, like, do I keep this just for Goblin Lore? Yeah, Modern Horizons 2 added actual factual counterspell to the format. They can probably attack this down pretty consistently. I'm gonna swap Jace for Vendilion Clique, I think. Yeah, leave one in. Let's try this. Sure. Yeah, Vendiclick's one of my all-time favorite cards. It's definitely high on my list of things I'd like to see in a historic anthology. Oh, shit. Oh, it's been so long since I've been modern this hard. Oh, it's been so long since I've been modern this hard, chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A true skill game that my opponent and I are playing. All right, what are we doing here? We are playing Storm Herald with Eldrazi Conscription. And other than that, we're just a bunch of mono red stuff. Got it. Oh, I forgot to screenshot their hand, and it didn't put their hand in the revealed zone because Magic Online. Good chat. Good chat. My opponent again made us discard a land, and again, we did not get any lands. My opponent cast Burning Inquiry turn 1 on the play and discarded all of my lands. Yeah, it's been fun, Kason. We're about 7 hours into it. All right, I'm going to discard this Cryptic Command because we're pretty far away from casting that. This is like pretty encompassing of the modern experience. Yeah, Cube's really good. It's a little sad that the Cube content's not popular. We're still gonna do some more Cube, but I can't justifiably do all Cube for arena content because it just doesn't get watched like constructed content gets watched. The last Cube was just excellent. Fun deck, stellar games. My opponent so far has failed to discard their Ox, though, so that's good for us. And we got rid of their Hollowed One, so like they're not getting free 4/4s. I'm gonna bolt their Dome here because we draw Blue Source. I want to play the Murktide. Hey, Bit Prodigy, thanks for the half a year. Also been enjoying the variety stuff on YouTube. That's awesome. Thanks for watching and hanging out. Okay. I mean, this is better than missing again, right? I don't think I'm bolting myself to bolt them, though. So we'll just put this in play tapped. With Moto back on the menu, we're just like full-on variety stream now, huh? They're just actually incapable of giving us a land, and they discarded double Ox this time, so yikes. If we find a blue source next turn, and we get to put a Murktide into play, we could have a real shot here. If we miss on the blue, we're probably dead to this Ox. I guess I have the bolt. I guess I have the Bolt, and I can Bolt the Ox in response to their Phoenix triggers next turn. If we find a blue source, I think we're actually favored, which is funny, considering how this game is going. Okay. So the Flamewake Phoenix trigger is a trigger that checks when it would go on the stack and when it resolves. So if they enter combat here and we murder this Ox, like so, they won't have the ferocious condition met anymore, and these Flamewakes can't come back. So we'll go ahead and deal 3 to this, and then they get nothing. Good day, sir. Back in 1 year. Now, they will get to re-escape the Ox if they don't have anything else to do and then try again next turn, but I have Bolt for next turn, so you'll love to see it. And I'm pretty sure... I should have screenshotted their deck, but I'm pretty sure they can't interact with this as an 8-8, so I'm just making an 8-8. Two mana, 8-8 flyer. Your move, Yugi boy. This is what I've got. Hey, thanks for the 2/3 of a year, Kid Marsha, and welcome back. Hey, this card's been real good so far. Just like everything this kind of archetype has wanted. Oh, please don't lose my Bolt. If they get rid of my Bolt here, we could lose this game. All right, we kept the Bolt. And then next turn... Oh, the second one exiles enough instants. I forgot this has the last line of text, right? Shoot. So, if I Bolt their Dome, do we just have lethal then? We Bolt their Dome, and then the second Murktide makes this a 13/13? That's nutty. Okay, yeah, because these have to attack. Yeah, have some Phoenixes. Enjoy. Is Modern still a dumpster fire? I really enjoyed the matches of Modern we played on Wednesday, and so far we're only 1 match into this league, but it's felt really good. This'll come as a surprise to many of you who have watched my content for a long time, but it would appear that banning Mox Opal and Simian Spirit Guide and other silly fast mana cards made this format much better. And then Modern Horizons 2 also seems to have added a bunch of sweet new cards. I think the Delve mechanic is overpowered. I think the Delve mechanic is very good. Yeah, Snapcaster makes it bigger too. I don't even know that Urza Saga is a bit sketch. Like, people keep, and maybe this is just like my baseline for Modern hasn't been updated yet, but like people keep talking about this Urza Saga card being busted, and I keep watching the games they're actually playing, and they aren't doing anything that's that inherently powerful compared to like the Modern of old I'm used to. Like, playing a land that gets disenchanted or a land that dies to Spreading Seas or Alpine Moon is like a real risk. Like, I mean, it seems like it's powerful, but like also at the same time, like there's a lot of powerful things in this format. May keep this. I think I might bottom the Shatterskull Smashing. It's a shame we don't know what they're playing. We knew what they're playing, if Blood Moon was good or not. Yeah, it dies to Blood Moon, Spreading Seas, and Alpine Moon. There are a ton of things that just like kill the land. All right. Smells like prowess. Morning, Deebs. Yeah, for folks who are my regulars, I'm doing my normal stream segment today, 8 to 3. I'm going to be off Thursday and Friday this week, so kind of shifting those hours around to a couple of Sunday streams. We'll be live this Sunday and next Sunday. I can fit in the amount of content I want to do in a week. Just kill Taylor now before we get into trouble and take more damage from her. Yeah, like, Life from the Loam with Urza Saga is, like, slow and grindy and, like, is exposed to graveyard hate and lots of other cards that are interactive, so, like, I'd be kind of surprised if that's that good. Alright, so there could be merit to just, like, opting here and then trying to find a lightning bolt. Let's wait and see what spell they cast next turn. Because they did miss a land drop. Just a Taylor. Yeah, good. Morning, Maddie. Leave up mutagenic growth. It's good. It's good to know. Extra rewarded for not looking for the bolt, huh? Sure. I'm kind of surprised they use these this aggressively. I guess it's a big chunk of life, but like at the same time, like I'm a deck full of red removal. Okay, I think if I Thought Scour here and hit a Murktide, I can cast it, right? Which is kind of appealing. I can also just cast Blood Moon, but they probably don't have that many. They probably don't have that many white spells. So I think I'm going to go ahead and fetch Basic Island here and then Thought Scour. Now we'll go digging for a bolt. Yikes. Screw does typically beat Flood. Good chance we're just dead here. They bolt my dome and hit me for 5. You make a zap sound every time you cast Bolt Shudder. I don't know about that one. I mean, sure. I guess. Man, you are like a day late and a dollar short, card. Needed you a little bit sooner. I assume we're just gonna die to a bolt next turn. We'll play the island to bluff counterspell, so that way if they try and do it during our upkeep, we get to counter it with Cryptic Command. Yeah. It's a shame here, right? Because, like, this is an 8-8, and they're at 13. Needed just a little bit sooner, huh? Engineered Explosives seems great. Negate, Aether Gust, and Flusterstorm seem great. Blood Moon seems bad. Jace the Mind... You know, I feel like saying the words Jace the Mind Sculptor seems bad is probably going to be something I do a lot today, huh? It feels like we're gearing up for that to be the case. I didn't mean to put these down here. These are 1-drops. These go here. Cryptic's definitely slowed. Let's like trim a couple of ops. I probably can't afford to spend too much time spinning my tires on a card like that doesn't play to the board. Vendilion Clique isn't great if they have Lava Dart. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's fair. Snapcaster Mage at least to like cast something back. I probably want these Abrade, so there's more ways to kill stuff. Do these decks play Boros Charm and stuff like that? Is this Spell Snare good? Or are they mostly on 1-mana spells? I think the Pirate Monkey is a very good card. It ramps you and it draws cards for 1 mana. I'm gonna leave the Spell Snare in, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone that knows the opponent's archetype better says that you're not supposed to play that card. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Needs a third. It's pretty good if we find a third land. What's going on, Hunox? Yeah, I'm gonna be live. I'm live today all day, and then I'm gonna be live next week Sunday all day. Because I have to take Thursday and Friday off this week. And I love my job, and it comes with many wonderful perks, but paid time off is not one of them. So if I'm taking some time off, I like to try and do some other time live. I think I just hold up Bolt this turn, so that way I can snap Bolt or Archmage's Charm without shocking next turn. Feels like there's a good chance they have another threat here, right? And if they don't have another threat, that's also good for us. It's funny, on my top 5 video I posted yesterday, I deleted a lot of comments and removed people's ability and shadow ban people for bad takes. And one of the takes I had from someone was, Brainstorm helped Jeskai Control push creature decks out of the format. I really wish they would have given Bolt a chance. And it was just like, it's so weird to me that you could come to the correct conclusion that, like, this thing... Oh, they drew a Lurrus. I actually did not realize that they had a companion, and we played an entire game 1. The Moto interface really is something, chat. Maybe I'm supposed to... It could be right to just draw a card with Archmage's Charm there, but they're on like double Sunbaked Canyon here, which makes it appealing to start pressuring their life total. I'm gonna go ahead and Thought Scour here at sorcery speed, because if we hit a land, I'd like to play it like a fetch land to fetch something tapped. And I have Aether Gust and Counterspell appear. What's going on, Eyeball? Thanks for the 20 months. Stop it. Bad kitty cat. Peace out, Lurrus. Oh, you see that, chat? We don't have to counterspell this one, because Archmage's Charm has a mind control option. $13. This game needs Reginald Zerpas. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time, Eddie. They're on fire. Yeah, I think this is fire. Just let this happen. That one, please. You made that? No, I made that. I got him. Snapcaster's dead. I get to end on the sweet play. Sorry, I saw the lethal, I was working the moto interface. Get some prowess triggers in. I love me some Blue Moon too, Mike. Honestly, so far, I know I've only played like a match and a half, but this deck should probably have a fourth Murktide in it. This is like the card I just want to draw every single game that we're playing. Please, please, more giant Delve Flyers, please. I've got Thought Scours. Let's do it. Alright, so we're looking for a Bolt in our opening hand. Around the draw here, having 1 mana piece of interaction is pretty important, I think. Yeah, this is just gotta be a mulligan. None of our cards play to the board. At the very least, I need something like an Abrade or a Counterspell. Is this passable? It's not good, but it might be passable. Opponent kept 7. Yeah. There's a chance that we want some number of extra 1 mana red spells in the sideboard for matchups like this. Some magma sprays or pillar of flame, something like that. Some burst lightnings. I've registered an unhealthy number of burst lightnings in my lifetime, chat. And this is exactly why, right? Like, we're gonna take a 4-ball or more from this Clever Lumimancer here. It ain't gonna end pretty for your boy. Isn't that a trap card? Well, in Modern, you have a lot more efficient 1 mana spells. So it's not like in Standard where you just end up embarrassed with it a lot of the time. Yeah, cards are contextual to the format in which they're being played. In Standard and Historic, this card tends to be pretty lackluster. Here, you get to play cards like Mutagenic Growth. So, like, you know, this is their turn 2. They're attacking for 12. So I think we're dead here. I'm not dead yet. We will be soon, chat. We will be soon. Oh, small misstep here. They forgot to play Inspiring Vantage. We have 2 cards in hand. They're bolting my face, yep. Maybe I'm just supposed to counterspell the bolt there. It probably doesn't matter. It'd be 1 higher if I had counterspelled the bolt. And then I could crack a fetch land. Hopefully I just have a burn spell and kill us. Charm me, Diddy. Shrine of Burning Rage. Despite all the rage. Do. Ooh. I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. This card was the stone cold worst when it was standard legal because what's the word that I'm searching for? The trigger rules where you had to remind your opponents of their triggers at that point. All right, we're dead. So it is actually worth noting here that my mistake cost me this game. So if I would have counterspelled the Lightning Bolt instead of playing the Snapcaster Mage, I would have been +1 life this game. And the +1 life would have let me utilize a fetch land to cast Archmage's Charm to steal the Clever Lumimancer. So, like, there's no guarantee that I win the game in the long term, but I definitely wouldn't have died to that Mutagenic Growth. And the way my opponent's draw lined up there, I actually would have been in a pretty good spot to win. It would have just been +1 life. You know, honestly, one of the questions I have about this deck, aren't both players still responsible for missing the trigger? No, not anymore. Hasn't been that way for a very long time. In competitive Magic at Comp REL and Professional REL, you are not obligated to remind your opponent of their mandatory triggers. Yes, I would have been able to use the Snapcaster Mage for something else later. Well, our hand has some options. This card technically steals Amulet of Vigor, which is funny. I mean, if we Blood Moon and keep them off of utility lands, Murktide will be bigger than a Titan in most instances. Okay, so they can pick Cavern of Souls back up here and then replay that on something else. Okay. All right, so you got 5 shots at 2 Blood Moons here. Things are not looking good for our hero yet. Take the amulet. They're about to have a second amulet, so that seems like not a good play. The third chapter on this gets them an amulet. How do we feel about take Sakura Tribe? I guess they activate it so he can't block. It's fair. Yeah, they don't have any lands currently, so it's decent for us. Oh, I could have played the land tapped, right? Because this is only 7. Do I want to keep an opt in my bin? I think I might want to keep an opt in my bin. So let's play the untapped land and keep opt in the bin. I guess I could snap Archmage's Charm next turn. Maybe leave the Archmage's Charm, actually. Runs out of burr. I mean, there's always a lot of narrow cards you can play that are good against the artifact decks, yeah. The question is always, like, how many narrow cards can you afford to play? Zeus is kind of scary. It's a name Giant. Yep. Okay, and now that... And since they got the map now, do we snap Archmage's Charm to take the amulet? Is that the play? Because I can't counterspell. I can't counterspell their other thing anyways. I mean, they're definitely tightening next turn. And if I bolt this land in, I can Thought Scour this turn as well. And this will make my Murktide a 7/7. Okay, for people, the Cavern's on Giant here, so... And then I have Cryptic Command, so if they can't attack with Giant this turn, hopefully, fingers crossed, then I have Cryptic Command to stop them from attacking next turn, and then we kill them with the Murktide Regent in the air. Yeah, this card, anytime, and the second copy makes it bigger too, right? So when you play the second one, the one you already have in play gets bigger because you're delving more instants and sorceries. Yeah, the list I started with only had 3 copies of this, and that definitely seems like a mistake after playing these games. Yeah, this card's really good. It's everything this kind of archetype wanted. Alright, don't amulet me. Just cast your Titan. Ornell, thanks for the 25 months. Welcome back. I appreciate the support. Let's go get him indeed. Can confirm, immediately replaced all my Gurmags. Yep, big mood. much better than Big Fish. Hey, Miller. Thank you for the subgifties. I appreciate the support. I mean, to be fair, in Historic, we don't have... yeah, I said not playing 4 felt like a mistake. My wrap-up is definitely going to include play 4 Murktide Regent. Delve cards in Historic won't have Thought Scour or fetch lands to enable them. Like, Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise are both legal in Pioneer. So honestly, like, when we get to the cons cards, I kind of wouldn't mind this card in Historic, because I think giving a powerful range of things that you could do seems good. opponent. Deep in the tank here, trying to figure out what they want to do. You're just thinking about the Phoenix deck. Sure. But I mean, like, the Phoenix deck is going to get Treasure Cruise eventually anyways. What'd they grab with Pact? They got Primeval Titan with Pact. Sure. Yeah, you'd have to build around them, isn't it? Wait, do I just have lethal with the Cryptic Command? We totally do, right? We just like tap, draw, and then we play the second Murktide, which gives this one +4/+4, and then we attack. Is there any reason to play around anything? There's not, right? Yeah, and then we play second Murktide and delve all of these and make this an 11. Oh, that was great. All right, Abrade is good. Aether Gust and Negate are good. Vendilion Clique seems good. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, I'm gonna board out these Jace the Mind Sculptors because they don't seem like they're particularly good here. Spell Snare's pretty good, or pretty bad. Let's go ahead and cut that. Yeah, that's probably gonna be one of the cuts. Cut this old boomer card, this Jace the Mind Sculptor garbage, and put another thick Dragon Boy in here, chat. Need some thick Dragon Boy. Maybe like another dragon. Honestly, probably just like go up to a 4th dragon and play some main deck Vendiclicks. Am I supposed to put these? Like, I've already got too many cards is the problem here, right? Like, this is 66 cards. Like, what am I trimming here? I feel like Explosives is too expensive for its effect. It also cleans up the Saga tokens, though. Blue-Red Command Shatters, yeah. I think I'd rather have the Charms and the Prismari Commands. Both of these cards technically deal with amulets. What if we trim like a couple of bolts? Maybe I don't want this Negate. What do we think of this? Is cutting bolt too few ways to kill like Azusa and stuff? It could be. Maybe I'm supposed to trim cantrips. Trimming cantrips could be correct. Maybe we leave the 4 bolts in and trim ops. Is Counterspell not good enough? It's gotta be, right? They don't always have Cavern. I could Coward Split and go 3/3. Let's do that. Makes my curve pretty. Listen, chat, whenever you have 2 decisions that are close, pick the one that makes your curve more symmetrically beautiful. Oh no, I submitted 61 by mistake. I'll never recover from the shame that I've brought to my family. I mean, we're 1-1 in this league. And like, honestly, I mentioned this last time we played Magic Online. And this is something I've talked about before that's not exclusive to Magic Online either, is that like my number one sign of is a format good and one that I enjoy is if I can walk away from games I've lost with a smile on my face and being like, oh, that was neat. I had choices to make. There were things I could do different. That's what I look for in games in general, right? And then in the flip side, in comparison, a format or a game is bad when you walk away from games that you've won and are like, man, I really didn't have fun and I don't really want to play that again. Which is why Jeskai control is so toxic in Historic. frequently walk away from games in Historic like, nah, that sucked, even though I won. Gust does tempo Cavern for a turn. That is correct. Thought Scours, a nice pickup here with Murktide in hand. Prismari Command looting also helps us fill the bin for Murktide a little bit. What spell am I drawing again next turn is technically a choice. We do. The Star Trek people were happy with my last sponsored segment, and they asked me to do another one. And their gameplay is reasonable, so I said yes. Can we stress test Arena with Smothering Tithe, Emergency Powers, and 1,000-Year Storm? Yeah, if we concede to Jeskai Control, we could probably do that. That's definitely not an archetype that's capable of being competitive against a bunch of memory lapses, though. So let's say yes. Thanks for the biddies, Beastwith. Is there a particular day and time you'd like to see that played? They got Bajuka Bog. Do we just Murktide here at Sorceries? Do we just Murktide and tap out then? Since they fetch Bajuka Bog? I think so, right? I think we just play a 6/6. Need to get pressure in play. You're flexible? Sounds good. I'll have it up tomorrow then if you'd like. Bog is atrocious against Resolve Dragon, but it can stop us from getting to Dragon to begin with. Yeah, their removal is usually Dismember, right? They have like Dismember and sometimes some pieces of red removal. So they haven't shown us a cavern yet, but they could have one. I think I'm just supposed to Prismari Command, Shatter Shock, attack for 6. This interface chat. Deal 2. It's like a reading comprehension test. Deal 2, destroy target artifact. Oh, they do get another amulet back this turn. Hopefully they're just making a construct. I forgot about the Urza Saga. Yeah, this was wrong, actually, because they're getting another amulet this turn. If they float a mana, they get to Titan us if they have a bounce land rate. I forgot that the Saga was an amulet in play. Mounds of Mayhem. What an excellent username. Thanks for the follow. I am 3 matches into my 3rd league, and I have not wanted to flip the table over yet, so. The last few sets of Modern have been better than the last few sets of Historic, with their mismanagement of the Historic ban list in recent memory. We're gonna be starting every stream this week with the Modern League. We're gonna redo Kiki Chord because I like Kiki Chord, believe it or not, and then we are also them just creating a construct here seems great for us. We're gonna be replaying Kiki Chord again, and then we're gonna do a bunch of different other decks like this one. So I think in response to this Bajuka Bog, I just bolt them, right? Because it makes Murktide bigger. Thanks. Thanks for the 8/8. Oh, wait, did I miss lethal? Oh, I missed lethal, chat. It doesn't matter because my hand's full of counterspells and Aether Gust. If I don't bolt in response, their bolt snap bolt was lethal, right? Because Snapcastering the bolt still puts a counter on it. Because they're going to be at 3, and I would have had another bolt in here. Okay, I did miss lethal. With Aether Gust, we should be a lock to be fine, I imagine, but worth pointing out that I missed it there. You know, honestly, we're just like about to 2-0 the Titan opponent without ever drawing Blood Moon. Does this deck need Blood Moon? Like, is that a card we need to play? Or like, can we just kill people with Murktide Regents now? Like, you used to have to play Blood Moon to like cheese your way out of bad positions with this archetype. But like, what if we were just like blue-red mid-range, like blue-red control? Not even Turbo Murktide, just like this blue-red mid-range control deck that like plays this as a finisher. Sure. Like, I mean, like, obviously you could board Blood Moon. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like the Jaces get cut, the Blood Moons get cut, the Cliques go into the main deck, we add a Murktide, we add some other spell, we can put the Blood Moons and the Clique slots on the board. Just be more proactive game one instead of trying to cheese people. Like cheese people with Murktide Regent instead of Blood Moon. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Llanowar Elf, eh? Hey, look, chat. Turn 1 Llanowar Elf. Do you think this is another matchup where Jace the Mind Sculptor is bad? Certainly looks like it's about to be the 4th matchup in a row where Jace the Mind Sculptor is bad. Just not gonna show him our cards. Hey, look, Blood Moon and Jace are bad. Like, that's been mostly a theme this morning. Yeah, I think I want 1 to 2 more 1 mana pieces of removal as well. Probably a Burst Lightning main deck, and then maybe like a Magma Spray in the board. Yeah, I think we want one mana pieces of removal for sure. Things that are proactive like Burst Lightning also help you fill the bin for Murktide as well, which is great. Usually from my experience playing these types of archetypes, about 6 is the number of 1 mana. 6 to 7 is the number of 1 mana things you want in the post board games. And put EE on 1 here. So Engineered Explosives on 1 played out proactively like this means our opponent gets to choose what they sequence into this, but a card like this sitting on board also dictates kind of the pace of play at which my opponent can play at, because they have to kind of thread this needle where like they need to put enough things into play that I feel incentivized to blow this up, but not so much that they get too far behind from it. I would imagine, given the way our deck is currently constructed, this matchup's probably quite bad for us. Torres, thanks for the follow. I'd be pretty surprised if Reclamation Sage is in their deck against us in a post-board game. Yeah, so I mentioned Unholy Heat. 1, we don't enable Delirium, and 2, Unholy Heat doesn't hit your opponent's face. Listen, chat, the face is the place, chat. Cast cancel. Damn liberals and their cancel culture. I'm gonna go ahead and try and stop them from triggering the War Master this turn. If we don't hit a Murktide Regent sometime soon, we're probably dead. We basically need that card to survive here. Be able to stabilize the board and then eventually apply pressure. Snapcaster Mage. I guess that's fine. Taking another 4 here. Then if I fetch... Man, the mana base has been painful. Honestly, part of the upside of cutting Blood Moon to the board too is we could retool the mana base. We could play less fetches and play some like Spirebluff Canals. Prismari Command. That's decent. We'll probably like Snapcaster Mage, target Archmage's Charm here. Or we'll just snap Counterspell. Leave Archmage's Charm in there for flexibility later. Oh, I guess I can Cryptic Command now, right? Yeah, let's do that. Solitude was a really big upgrade for Kiki card, so I'm going to say Solitude's my favorite card from Horizons 2 so far. Honestly, I think I just do this. And then we, Prismari Command, kill this one. 6 mana, let's do this. Then deal 2, we loot. Jib Jib Flutterhouse, thanks for the follow. We'll draw step, click them. Yeah, Prismari Command is really, really great. Super flexible. Basically bottoming any spell there, because there's a chance that we give them a land. Do I have to counterspell this? Man, our deck is so much worse when we don't draw Murktide. They bottomed that, believe it or not. This is a 7-turn clock, which is much slower than Murktide. I gotta counterspell this one, because if I bolt it, they have a window to cast a spell off the top of their deck first. And I can't cast this, because I didn't have an opportunity to fetch a second Steam Vents at any point. Yeah, definitely want to cut the Blood Moons and retool the mana in here. It's looking like we're going to be able to win this game. And this was the easy game. Remember, this is the game where we were on the play, so we have to try and win one on the draw here. I'm going to go ahead and bolt this because we can hold Counterspell for like a collecting company. Sir Dated, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. Ah, should have waited. Could have Shatter Skull Smashing. Great, feeling pretty good. With them drawing another brick there, we're probably a lock now. Regenerate another target elf. So that's fine. They don't have 5 to activate the bottom ability. Welcome to the party, Murktide. Vendilion Clique did the heavy lifting while you were out. Alright, gotta try and win one on the draw, which again is tough because we don't have that many pieces of 1-mana interaction. Oh, I didn't bring my Abrades in. I'm a big dumb. Those definitely need to be in my deck. Trim Archmage's Shard. That was a bit of an oopsie. Okay. I mean, it isn't a bolt, but like EE into a Abrade's pretty good. Murktide had his out of office alert on today. Yep, sounds like him. Oh. Okay, so I think we just murder this one before it can get too out of control. Yikes, they have 1-drop to pair here. No 1-drop to go with it, that's good. I mean, Moto is as Moto does. The quality of the gameplay for Modern so far has been good, though. Okay, yeah, I think we keep that, and then we'll Aether Gust this turn into Thought Scour, drop a fatty next turn. We'll Gust the one they already have in play. If Pioneer had Thought Scour, Dig Through Time, and Treasure Cruise would not be legal in it. Just as a point of reference. Exactly. So you want those cards to be banned, is what you're saying? So do I Murky Boy, or do we EE blow up their 2 dorks? I think we just EE blow up their 2 dorks, right? Yep. Bad company. It's what I want to see. Those cards aren't okay in formats that play land. A lazy take. Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise are both incredibly sweet cards. Magic players are the worst, chat. Thanks for the follow here, Dino. So, if I don't snap now, I don't get to do anything. I'm not going to get to snap anything. They have Realm Walker here as well, though. It could be right to just play Murktide and try to race. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in my bin, so Murktide could realistically be a 9/9, which that paired with Cryptic Command could definitely set us up to get our race on. Well, I could technically Murktide plus Clique here, right? Yeah, that's the line, isn't it? We like Murktide plus Clique. Yeah, I think that's definitely the line. Because I have, Declan hurt you. Alright, hold on. I've got a cannibal child I need to deal with. Children, chat, children. Korean Ranger, you can keep that one. They have 3 things in here for their scavenging ooze, so still not big enough to get through Murktide. Attack you for 11. They did do a land? Yeah, because they can gain 1 more life, but I can Snapcaster Exile the Abrade. And even if they eat it, it still makes this big enough. Fog, draw card. Thanks. Good shit. So they technically could have done this to attack with 1 thing here, but that wouldn't have been enough to be lethal, right? Yeah. Yeah, chat. There should be 4 Murky Boys in this deck. I missed the fact that Murk synergizes with itself when I was putting this deck together last night. Like, for reference, we had lethal without that top deck. We just get the bigger, flashier lethal with it. Play my 8/8 for 2, make my already 8/8 for 2 a 13/13. Good chat, good chat. Sick. All right, so we're 3-1. We get to play for some extra prizes here, and I've got some good ideas for what I want to change here. That deck was sweet. Does a lot of things I want to do in Magic. You can't just synergize with yourself on stream, Jeff. It's against the Twitch TOS. Is there an importable version of this deck? I will put the updated iteration in the video description under the YouTube thing this evening. Is Murk a real card or is it just a meme? Why would Murk be a meme? It's a very, very powerful Magic card. Cards very close to this have been playable at lots of different points. And this one seems more powerful than things like Gurmag Angler and Tombstalker. 8/8 flyer for 2 is no joke. Yeah, I think my main deck changes for spells at a glance are like Blood Moon, Jace out, Vendilion Clique, 3rd Cryptic Command, 4th Murktide, and then adjust the mana base to get some fast lands in here. Oh yeah, I wanted to burst lightning. That's true. But I want more Cryptic Command too. The hard choices, chap. Gotta land. Maybe. Slippery boy! Oh no! Oh no! Blue-red's greatest weakness, chat. A slippery boy. Are we dead? No, this is a game. This is one where Blood Moon could save us. It's fine. We're destined to 3-2, chat. Destined to 3-2. All right, come on. We got some more redraws here towards the Blood Moon. Sweet to see we're up to almost 1,000 people in here for some Modern this morning. This is going to be my last match of Modern. We're going to be changing over to Magic Arena to play some Historic after this match is done. I'm planning to start my stream every day this week with a League of Modern, though. We go live about 8 a.m. Central, and everything will be up on my YouTube channel as always if you're looking for some Modern to watch after the fact. We played some Kiki Chord and some Black-White Stoneblade last week. Those leagues are up there. It's been good. Definitely a format that I've been enjoying. Hey, Gnak, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Arena concede to Jeskai mode for Historic. So, I actually think both of the decks we're playing today potentially have decent Jeskai matchups, so we're going to be playing those matches out. We've got a bunch of Shifting Ceratopses and 6-mana Chandras. No, I don't think I'm in Ambush Viper mode. I think I'm just spinning my tires. I would like to find a Murky Boy or a Blood Moon here. Oh, look! It's that card that's felt unplayable this league. Actually, just 5 out of 5 matchups where it's dog crap. Funny how that works. Love your content. I live in Japan, so mainly watch on YouTube stuff, but I wanted to log on and say keep it up and keep the best Magic content going. Thanks, Gnak. I really appreciate the support. Wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. Jace the mediocre sculptor. Yeah, basically. Big mood. I'm going to counterspell this one because it comes back again and again and again. If we hit running Murky Boys, we might be able to race here just like 8-8 into 13-13. But like outside of running Murky Boys, we're kind of in a bad way here. Which is again why there should be 4 of them in my deck. Yeah, Jace is super legacy. Jace's price is probably pretty stable, Archivist. So if they attack, we're flashing in Snapcaster Mage. We'll target Opt. Anger would be great in this deck. Maybe. I don't know that anger is super necessary. I think in general, engineered explosives tends to kind of fill that role a little bit better. I also think, again, just like having more Murktides would go a long way. So we don't get to flashback Opt here because we had to counterspell the path. We get to take one of their dorks off the table, which is nice. Am I casting Jace the Mind Sculptor? I am not. I'm holding up Snapcaster Mage. So this does have totem armor on it now, which means if it dies, it comes back. That's fine. Just want to be able to snap counter their next play here. I don't know if they have their Daybreak Coronet here or not. They haven't had an opportunity to play that yet. So this actually isn't terrible for us because if I bounce the Spider Umbra, the Daybreak Coronet falls off. They're down to 1 card in hand at the moment. So Cryptic Command is going to do its best disenchant impersonation here. Black White Auras is fine. It just doesn't play any of the fancy new cards, so people stop playing it. Just passing here, right? So bounce, Spider Umbra, draw. Daybreak Coronet falls off. This can only enchant an enchanted permanent. Oh man, did I punt by not doing that on my turn? Yeah, I think I might have. Yeah, can we just talk about how awful Jace the Mind Sculptor has been this entire set? Can we just like take a minute to appreciate that the card is garbage? And just like at every opportunity we could have played it, it's just like, nah, that's not the right play. Yeah, it's not. I couldn't know if there was a Murktide on top, but that's the real question is like, what's the reason to wait there? The upside of getting Murktide into play sooner is big. Just like Murktide chat, the upside was large. I mean, I'm not sure Jace the Mind Sculptor has ever been not garbage in Modern. Yeah, could have. The upside was counterspelling a second aura if they deployed it. So that's fair. Confirmed Thought Scour better than Jace. I mean, to set a low bar, that's definitely true. Who would win, a heavily enchanted elven warrior or one murky boy? What about two murky boys, chat? What about two murky boys? Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Upgrade. I would like to upgrade my murky boy to a 12-12. See, chat, biggest mistake. Are we gonna beat Bogles game 1? Is my blue-red deck going to beat Bogles game 1? What is even happening? I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, it's not over yet, but like, man. It gets bigger every time you exile an instant or sorcery for any reason. So the second delve powers up the one already in play. Yeah, like, wow. Holy crap. That was incredible. Just like get these fucking Chase the Mind Sculptors out of my deck faster than anything else. Just like get out of here. This might be worth keeping in because they're what's it called card. They're a Daybreak Coronets. Aether Gust seems fine. Negate seems fine. Not good, but fine. Rest in peace turns off Regent. Because your things never go to the graveyard, they're exiled instead. It's a replacement effect. Blood Moon is kind of Blood Moon's actually pretty good here. I think. Has not fixed Delve. Delve is fine. Like, what we're doing definitely feels power level appropriate for the format. What is the hype around Jace the Mind Sculptor? So, Jace the Mind Sculptor was a card that was banned while it was standard legal during a time where standard bans were very uncommon. It was not uncommon to see 28 Jace the Mind Sculptors in a standard top 8 when it was standard legal before it was banned. To summarize what the big deal was. Alright, so we're definitely keeping this. What are we putting on the bottom? It might be Snapcaster Mage. Okay, so I should board my lightning bolts out for game 3 if we have one, because lightning bolt, this means I can't bolt them. So let me rephrase what you said there, Sphinx Revealed. The people at Wizards of the Coast failed to understand the very core concept that the power level of Magic cards is contextual in the format in which they're being played, which means that they assumed that because a card was too good in Standard that it would be too good in a different format as well, when that really couldn't be further from the truth. But yeah, it was on Modern's ban list from the start because, similar to Historic, one thing that runs common through Wizards of the Coast formats, in my opinion, is they consistently fail to reevaluate cards that they have previously banned that would now be okay. They are super hesitant to both ban and unban things in all of their formats. I mean, arguably, Modern at its origin was more combo focused than Modern we have today, Archivist. Modern at its origin had things like Blazing Shoal Infect. Like, Modern to start was real crazy. Yeah, go back and look at the first Modern top 8. Like, the format was real aggressive, to put it lightly. BT dubs, looking at my opponent's lands. This is why I love Blood Moon in my deck. My opponent's very greedy 2-color mana base, primed to be punished. Oh, you know what? I think I should have fetched Island this turn, so that way I could have triple blue post Blood Moon. I'm going to blow this up at end of turn because I didn't want them to be able to deploy anything else. So Rancor goes back to their hand, but they're not going to be able to recast it thanks to our friend of the Blood Moon here. Yeah, and this really shows my mistake, right? If I'd have sequenced my lands properly, I'd have mana to cast this Cryptic Command through Blood Moon next turn. And now I don't. So small thing. Haven't really cast Blood Moon this league. Been a while. So, definitely. We could definitely lose this game because of the mistake that I made here. It also would have put an extra card in my bin towards casting this with Delve sooner. Obviously wouldn't, it obviously feels magic, man. Feels magic. This card is such a rancid design because someone always feels bad about it. Either your opponent feels bad because they can't play Magic, or you, the person casting it, feels bad because your opponent drew the Stone Cold Perfects on their 2 draws. There's no middle ground. It's not a card that ever leaves both players satisfied. Someone is frustrated with it. Worth noting, had I sequenced my lands properly, I could have Cryptic bounced this Rancor at end of turn and then done something else with it. But again, that's on me. Definitely should have fetched for basic Island on 2 instead of playing the Island from my hand. It's fine. We'll get game 3 on the play here if they end up running us out of this still. Would you like to attack into Snapcaster Mage? They would. Their dojo does not have fear, chat. Yeah, I already mentioned that I have no idea. With Leyline of Sanctity being in play here, Lightning Bolt is not a card I want in my deck. You are correct. This is not a card that I think should be in their deck post board against me, so I left bolts in because sometimes they help us race, but you are correct. This card means that bolt is not worthwhile. I assume they're going to have another green enchantment because that's how this game has gone so far. Man, yeah, my mana base missequence is almost assuredly going to lose us this game. This Cryptic Command was castable, we'd be in a pretty incredible spot. All right. Castable spell at least. I think I need to counterspell that. This also means if we draw another Regent, I can cast it. Not that we have many of those. My body's ready to draw Snapcaster Mage and not be able to snap counterspell because of my sequencing error. Backup Blood Moon just in case. Blood Moon was a trap. Now, the Blood Moon was great. My land sequencing was inoptimal and we're in a bad spot, but like Blood Moon's also part of the reason we're in this game to begin with, because if my opponent could cast all of the 4 spells in their hand, we'd almost assuredly be dead. So Blood Moon's great. My opponent was lucky and drew a basic forest, and I screwed up my land sequencing. Like, if they had not drawn a forest or I had fetched an island properly, we'd be really far ahead right now. You're surprised they're down 8 minutes? I'm not. I've played Magic Online before. My opponents are constantly down 8 minutes because people play way too slowly. Honestly, it might just be Mystical Dispute. It's like another cancel. Probably the play. So, not guaranteed to win that game with fetching properly, but pretty likely to. We'll see how we do for game 3 in the play. I do think this matchup's probably hard for us. Again, another one of the matchups where we mostly want to race, so not having 4 regents is definitely a big downside here. I should have just trusted in the Dragon Boy and jammed 4 to start. The core of this deck's been sweet, though. I like it a lot. Yes, in. Sign me up. So Thought Scour dumps 3 cards in the bin. This is a 4th card in the bin. If I draw another fetch land, we can turn 2 Regent. Slippery Boy resolves. For people that are interested in deck list card for card, they will be available in YouTube video descriptions after I'm done streaming. Or after I'm no longer live today. There's no automatic extension for Moto. I'm doing it manually. Sounds like too much work, because it means I'd have to manually sign the extension and then change the extension back when we start playing Arena. It's a whole big ordeal. All right, hopefully Snappy Boy here can flash in and get in front of this Bogle. See what enchantments they have to put down on it. You have an opportunity to surgical rancor. You do. That's still not worth bringing in, though. Yep. Yep, I think we're dead here. Like I said, we were pretty fortunate to win game 1, and then you can't throw away a game like I threw away game 2 and expect to have a chance. We could peel exactly Engineered Explosives here, but pretty unlikely. Only 2 copies of those in our deck. I think I'd rather snap a cantrip / hold up negate. This match was a pleasant reminder of how glacial Magic Online, and this is the biggest problem with Magic Online, honestly, from a content perspective, is it's not even just the rate of play from the client, it's the rate of play from the opponents too, because like, I'm literally up 10 minutes on clock on our opponent here. Just an incredibly frustrating experience overall, just like sitting here having to wait, like, over, if you go back and like check the average match that we played throughout the course of the set, like, I'm probably up, you know, like two-thirds or 3/4 of the 2-hour league is like waiting for our opponents to make decisions because they're so slow. Yeah, I guess it gives us time to chat. We finished at 3-2, so I think we very likely 4-1 this league at a minimum if this deck is constructed better. No, I'm not cracking the chest. That chest is worth $2. That's $2 I don't have to put back into Magic Online. So Jace the Mind Sculptor does not feel like a modern playable card. Blood Moon was super mediocre in almost every match that we played. Even that last one that we played, it was only okay in. Murktide Regent is just insane. It is the reason to play this deck. It is really powerful and strong. I would play the 4th copy of that. I think I'd put the Vendilion Cliques in the main deck to have more closing power. This gives us 10 threats with Snapcaster Mage, Clique, and Murktide. And I feel like the one big hole that we had past playing a number of bad cards was I need more cheap interaction here. The Prowess deck and the Elves decks both felt like pretty challenging matchups. And I think somewhere between 6 and 7 1-mana deal damage cards is probably where I want to be in life. I think a couple of Burst Lightnings is probably what I would like. And then I think with the Blood Moons going to the sideboard especially, I want to retool my mana base to be a bit less painful. So I think I'd cut probably an island and 3 fetches and play what's the is it Spirebluff? Spirebluff Canal is the blue-red one. Shatterskull smashing was only okay. Getting red was kind of challenging on occasion. What's going on, Sticky? Thanks for the 2 years. I appreciate the prime. Oh yeah, cheers must not work. Must not work in sub messages. All right, we'll open the chest for Sticky. Thank you for the biddies. It's very generous. Look at that, chat. We turned my $2 into $1 because that's how gambling typically works. Is it Horizon Canopy? Oh, there totally is, right? Yeah, that's definitely what I want. I forgot about those when I was putting the mana base together. Fiery Islet. Yeah, that's the one. Let's put a couple of those in here. And I'm 1 card over. We can like trim. We can trim the spell snare. It's kind of whatever. I think I like this. Honestly, 24 lands might even be a touch high because we did cut 4 mana spells, right? Like this is kind of a piece of top end, but at the same time, it's like also not. So something along the lines of this though. It could be right to get another 1 mana thing in the board. Honestly, especially with the 8 cantrips here, I could see it being right to play as few as 23 lands. It could also be right to like stick on 24 and like just play more Fiery Isles in the main. We do have a good looking curve. I guess for the sake of curve purposes, the Snapcaster Mage is like technically a 3, which makes the curve look a little uglier, but that's also mostly fine. I wouldn't hate fitting another Cryptic Command in here, but I also don't know that I really have a great cut. Maybe splitting Archmage's Charm with Cryptic Command is correct. That could also be the, talking about the, do we need this number of lands? It could be cut a land for third Cryptic. We'll do that. We did cut 4 mana spells and Blood Moons to the board. It's probably fine. No, Dead Confidant. This is fine. All right, so this will be the deck list that I'm gonna recommend underneath the YouTube video for this one. Yeah, modern. Like I said, I've been watching a number of other content creators put out modern content the last week or so, and I think Modern seems like it's in a pretty good spot overall. Not only did Modern Horizons 2 introduce a lot of interesting cards like Regent to the format, but, the bannings of cards like Simian Spirit Guide and Moxel both slowed the format down in a really pleasant way, which seems great. Nah, I think Alpine Moon's probably just worse than our ability to play Blood Moon. I think if your deck doesn't have the ability to play Blood Moon, Alpine Moon is a fine and reasonable card. Like Kiki Cord, for example, I think I had Cleansing Wildfires in here, but I think Alpine Moon is probably the ideal card in the sideboard for this one because of its interaction with Urza Saga. But I do think if you could afford to play Blood Moon, you probably want to play Blood Moon in something like Blue Moon. So, yeah. All right. At any rate, that's going to wrap on Modern for today. If you missed any of that, League was almost 2 hours long. It'll all be up on my YouTube channel this evening, along with the deck list in the video description for anybody that wants easy importing. We're going to go ahead and shift gears and play